hear me okay if I stand here? All right, we'll do this. That'll make me a little less nervous, maybe. Anyway, so hi. I'm really, really excited actually to be here with you guys today. So thank you so much for the invite and for having me. Really, really thrilled to tell you all more about Virta and what is available to you and all of your employees. So Virta is basically the first and only treatment that's clinically proven to reverse type 2 diabetes, and reversal is possible through therapy and our fully virtual provider-led medical group. I'm not going to go into all of this, but if anybody wants to read any of these medical papers, please let me know. I'll be happy to let you know where you can get your hand on them. But this is just our peer-reviewed and validated outcomes, so we've got the science to back up what we say. This is actually great, and you guys, if you've been by my table, I have a whole bunch of patients who have great testimonials as their outcomes, about their outcomes, and this is actually you're going to hear from one here pretty soon in person. But this is Tim, and he's been on the program, and after 3 months, you can see he reduced his A1C by 2.7 points. He lost 45 pounds, and he stopped needing insulin injections. And this is just one of hundreds of stories that we hear from our patients. And, frankly, every Monday morning we start our week at the company by hearing it from a new patient, which is just super inspiring from us. Every week I hear another story of success, and it's a great way to remind myself and for all of us at the company to remind ourselves what we're here is to save lives and help people live better. So basically how it works is it's through nutritional changes that you commit to making. You've got a health coach. You'll be logging biomarkers, so blood sugar and ketone testing. And then you've got physician-led de-prescription. So again, we're trying to get people off medications. So it's very individualized. It's based on each person's individual carbohydrate restrictions. It always starts with 30 grams of carbohydrates is what your max is each day, and then that'll fluctuate depending on who you are and how you process those. And then most patients achieve nutritional ketosis, which is basically instead of burning carbohydrates for energy, you're burning fat for energy. And then again, you get to eat till you're satisfied and no exercise is required. So yay for no exercise. Any doctor would shoot me for saying that, but still, we should all get out and walk. Anyway, so what you can expect, you would go here to enroll. So just virtahealth.com/LGHIP. And then it's just basic information. We're going to get your name, your phone number, contact information. And once you go through the basic information form, you're going to schedule a call with an intake advisor. And this enrollment advisor will just let you know what to expect from the program, ask you questions, make sure that you kind of know what you're getting involved with here. Again, medical history, condition history, labs, allergies, anything like that that you'll later also go over with your physician. Once you've gone through the intake call, we have to get new labs if you don't have labs or recent labs, and then you schedule a call with the physician, and the physician will go over your health history and your lab work, and just make sure you're ready to go and you're confident and you've got what you need, and that you're really qualified for the program. Again, you do need to have type 2 diabetes to enroll in Virta, and there are some things that'll that could prevent that if you're pregnant. There's certain medications, and if you're on dialysis or stuff, then you wouldn't be able to do Virta. Once you're enrolled in the program, the Virta welcome kit arrives. Truth be told, I actually just started on the Virta program 2 weeks ago, so I can attest to all of these things. And the kit is huge and really cool. It's got a little recipe book. It's got your scale so you can measure your weight. It's got a food scale and all the testing supplies that you'll need. And from once you get your welcome kit, you're going to start interacting with your health coach. And your health coach is going to walk you through the app. So you want to have an app, you'll download the app, and when you go through the app, you're going to start, it's got recipes, it's going to tell you how many grams of food you need to eat. There's videos you can watch to educate yourself about the program, and you can start logging your biomarkers in there. So again, your blood glucose and your ketones and weight. So all of this goes right to the physicians on the program. They're going to be closely monitoring, again, because we're trying to get people off diabetes medication. So we're watching that really, really closely. And then just to answer some questions, our physicians do work with the PCP. So they update the patient's PCP on a semi-regular basis. So there's tight connection there. And again, just, when my doctor told me that I could stop taking insulin, that was the best day of my life. And that's really where we're going is, across the country, we're looking to support people in just living a healthier lifestyle and reversing their diabetes. So, again, we've got support from the provider, your health coach. There's a online community. Again, for me, just speaking to it from the 2 weeks that I've been participating, and I joined because I really wanted to understand more about what our patients go through. It's an incredibly supportive program. It's very, very easy, and it just keeps you motivated all the way through. So I'm going to just kind of open it up to questions, and you guys can let me know if you have any. Or stop by my table in the back, and I'd be happy to tell you about it. But again, it's really easy and just amazing results that I'm happy to share in more detail. If anyone has questions, yes.
Is this something that the local government helps support or consider? We don't have to do it on an idea. So is that something that you could possibly send out to people that have it, or
Yes, ma'am. So I can answer that. Can everybody hear me? Okay, let me get a microphone. I'm sorry. I'm going to get your space. Her question was if we're going to, I'm assuming, target market those who have that diagnosis. So we recently sent out postcards to people who have a diagnosis on file, who are type 2 diabetics. So we did send postcards. They came in an envelope addressed from Virta and I believe us. So that was something. If you would like us to do more of that, because I know that not everybody talks to you. You guys wear lots of different hats. Sometimes a therapist, sometimes like all kinds of things. But not everybody's going to tell you their personal health story or what's going on with them. So we're going to do more when it comes to that, and as far as education and initiatives for things like that, because we're here to help our members, and we really believe in that. So yes, ma'am. But we recently did that within the last couple of weeks. We sent out that mailer.
Okay.
All right. Well, I am going to introduce you to Without Music. I'm so sorry, Julie. But we actually have an in-person testimonial that I would love for you to hear. So you'll see her beautiful picture in your handout. But Julie Creel is actually, she's one of our board members, and she's also the City of Wetumpka's finance director. And she has had incredible results with this program. So, Julie, do you want to come up?
I'm not going to trip over this either. Hi. She introduced me. I'm Julie Creel. I'm the City of Wetumpka's finance director. I started on the Virta program about 7 months ago. A little bit of history. As a board member, we have a board meeting every year to set rates and that kind of thing. And we were told about the Virta program and asked to vote on that to offer to our members. And they were describing the program, and I'm sitting there going, "Oh yes, this is something good. We really need to do this." So I'm really happy that we were all able to vote on that and offer it to our members. As soon as I could, I went and signed up myself, because about 5 years ago I had been diagnosed with an elevated blood sugar and had done pretty well up until COVID, and then I just quit paying attention to what I was eating, and so my A1C went up to 7.9, and that's kind of the gold standard of whether they decide you're a diabetic or not. So my doctor told me that if I did not get that down, that I would have to go on diabetes medication, and I was trying very, very hard to run away from that. So As soon as I heard about Virta, that was the first thing I did, was to sign up as soon as I could. The process for signing up is very easy. You just go online and put in your information, and then someone contacts you and asks you questions about your health and that kind of thing, and then they kind of start putting you through the process. And of course, Carrie said that they send you a starter kit, which has all that information in it that she told you about. And there's a lot of educational stuff they want you to go through prior to starting on the program. And it tells you about how your metabolism works and all those fun things. But anyway, so I started on the program, and I have lost 23 pounds. Thank you. My A1C, which is the do-all be-all, went from the 7.9 that I told you about to 6.4 as about 2 weeks ago. I was jumping for joy. In fact, I screamed in my office over here, and everybody's going like, what's going on? What's going on? And I said, I did it. I did it. I did it. Now, I'm not where I want to be. I want to go lower, and I really want to stay off of medication. I'm a little bit different in that I've never been on diabetes medication, so I hope to stay off of it. And from what all the people at Virta tell me, it's a doable thing. The diet is not that bad. I mean, you obviously can't go out and eat cookies and candy and whatever you want. But I have learned to focus on the things that I can eat that are on the diet. And I've gotten to the point where I really don't miss all that stuff that I used to eat all the time. You know, it's just not in my wheelhouse anymore. But I highly recommend that you guys have the contact with all of our members for the local government health insurance plan. And, you know, if you hear somebody that has that kind of problem, please at least offer that to them, because it is really life-changing. And she mentioned the community. It's like a Facebook page kind of where everybody has their name on there, and they go on and they communicate about different things. But I have read some stories on there that would just put you all in tears. We're talking about people that have lost hundreds of pounds. They've been on 3 or 4 diabetes medications, and then you read through there, and they get off of all of this medicine. And I mean, it's great for their health, number one. That's the most important thing. But the other thing is, I mean, it is just changing lives. And that to me is everything. So not so much for myself, but for all these people that have really been on that for all this time. I just think it's a huge, huge thing. So please, if you do know of someone in your unit, you know, you just kind of mention it to them and give them some information about it, and let them know that there is something that they can do to help themselves, you know, with their own health situation. It's not always a medication thing, that you can do something about it yourself. So, thank you.
Okay, we're not done with Virta just yet. So recently, Virta was in the news here on WSFA in Montgomery, Channel 12 News, and I want to play that for you if that's okay.
15% of Alabamians suffer from type 2 diabetes. That's why one Montgomery resident is changing her faith and working to make a difference. Joining me now via Zoom is Alma Addy with her story. And when did you first find out you had diabetes?
The first time I found out, I was going through my pregnancy with my first child, and I had gestational diabetes.
And you were put on insulin, you said about 25 years ago, but your blood sugar was still out of control. What did you do next?
Well, we, of course, the doctors and I considered more medication, but it was still not coming under control. So I started changing the way I eat and becoming more proactive with exercise, and just motivating myself to want to do better and to do better.
How difficult was that for you, and what do you hope to say to other people who are trying to take control of their health?
Well, it is a difficult journey. You have to maintain your own motivation, your own encouragement. Please follow up with your doctors and keep your appointments. Make sure that you are doing your regular testing. And above all things, ask questions about different medications that they're asking you to do. Make those lifestyle changes where you're becoming more active, where you're making great choices and more healthier choices about your foods. One of the things that most people get discouraged because they're having to stick their fingers, do a lot of the testing, but that is the only way you're going to know how well you're progressing. And even if you fail or fall off the wagon, don't get discouraged. Continue with the process because you will see the results in the end.
Tell us about the Virta Health Program.
Virta Health has been a lifesaver since the state of Alabama State Employees Insurance Board instituted the programs. They have actually been able to help me reverse my type 2 diabetes. When I started with them, my A1C was 7.4. It is now 5.4. I no longer take diabetic medication. I'm aware of what foods I can and cannot have and how it affects my actual blood sugar. So it has been a godsend to me and as well as to my family because I still encourage them to follow along with me on this journey as far as the types of foods and what we eat and our choices to stay active.
What advice do you have for people who are recently diagnosed and they're just discouraged?
First of all, please don't be discouraged. It's a part of life. And what you do is make the determination that you're going to finish strong. Always follow the doctor's instructions. Above all things, ask questions, because that is what's going to help you to understand what it is that your body's going through. Please know your family history, because with your family history, you can determine how far back this situation has gone. But don't be discouraged. Don't be afraid. Just stay positive. You have to encourage yourself.
You said you're not on a lot of the medications you were before. How are you feeling overall today?
I feel wonderful. I've come off of all of my diabetic medication. I'm only down to one high blood pressure pill and one cholesterol tablet that I take, and I'm exercising. I can do stairs now. I walk every day. That is the staple for my exercise program is walking. But I also do walk videos, some Zumba, and I feel great. I have a lot of energy.
Thank you so much for sharing your story here with us on Alabama Live.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
So we're pretty passionate about this program. It doesn't seem to be, when I first heard it, I had no idea. I'm very ignorant when it comes to diabetes. I had no idea that type 2 diabetes was something that could be potentially reversed. And so when I first heard about this, when we first looked into offering it, or when it was approved rather by the board, I was just blown away. So I highly encourage, like what Julie was saying and what Carrie was saying, listen, if you have questions about anything, don't hesitate to call, to ask us. We'll be glad to help however we can. Go see Carrie. She's here until the end of the conference, which guess what? It's pretty soon. But anyway, fantastic program, phenomenal results. So truly life-changing.